Everybody, and welcome to our very first episode of the Rebels Podcast. Can I get a round of applause, please? Come on, man. Why you interrupting me? God damn. What do you want? You got anything to say to them for rudely interrupting?
Free R. Kelly.
What? Anyways, let's get back into that. Nah. What you just wipe your mouth with? A towel, bro?
A rag, bro.
A rag? I know you use that for your boogers.
Nah, my ass.
Alright. Let's touch base. Let's touch base on the theory. Basically, the CIA leaked a document. Now look at me. They leaked a document called the Adam and Eve story. It talks about how the world is going to end because the poles, like the North and the South Pole, shift every 12 to 15,000 years. It causes apocalypse, such as earthquakes, giant tsunamis,
It's like a Big Bang, basically.
etc. No, it's not the Big Bang. But once this shift happens, it basically means we are back to the Stone Age. Humans started at 10,000 BC, right? And we're in the 2000s. So if you think about it, that's 12,000 years right there. That's why, they basically said, Antarctica, if you think about it, used to have forests and the Sahara used to be green. But because we're at a certain point of life, it all resets.
No, something I'm really interested in is the ice wall.
The ice wall?
I want to know I've seen, some theories about, there's a bunch of, stuff. There's more land behind it.
I heard about it, but I don't know too much about it to touch on the subject.
Me either.
But also, I got another thing, tying into that, say that happens and we die, right? Our brains are always constantly thinking. My brain's always constantly thinking and overanalyzing everything. But what if when we die, it just stops? Everything's just, there's no heaven and there's no hell. Everything is just black, and we're just...
I thought about it, just black.
And we're erased out of existence. Think about that. And that's why, if you think about it, they say our lives flash before our eyes. Because what if our body, our soul, our brain is trying to basically analyze every point of our life, live events that led us up to this death. Trying to make sense of basically how did we get to this point? How are we gonna die? How are we dying right now? And if there's no heaven and if there's no hell, what if we just shut off?
But emptiness?
Yeah, nothing but emptiness. We're just evaporated. That shit, bro, that shit would be crazy. What if we are all NPCs? We're living in a simulation, which everybody always talks about the simulation, right? We're living in a simulation where aliens put us in. And to kind of see how we react to things and kind of see, basically we're NPCs. But we're so high up that we think we're not NPCs. Kind of like an artificial intelligence. Think about that.
So do you think that we're the type of artificial intelligence that took over or are still being, controlled?
Yo, that's a hot take. That's definitely a hot take because you can think about that both ways. Think about it. We could be AIs that took over our creators. You know how they say eventually we're going to create robots and robots are going to take over?
Yeah.
What if we were those robots and now we're that artificial intelligence where we're we got to a point where we're higher beings and now we're the robots that took over that past human race. But then, like you said, if you think about it, we are in a way still controlled because those other higher beings, I don't mean they're smarter than us and stuff like that, but they have those type of puppeteer strings like the government, if you want to say, that is able to control how we think and how we act and what we eat and what we do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Damn, that's a hot take. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a good question. That was a good rebuttal. I'm not even gonna lie. But to me, I feel like it can go both ways. Cause we are definitely a higher being. Because if you think about it, we evolved. But then if you think about it, we're still being controlled. So that goes with there's people that's NPCs and there's people that's not. But then there's people who are NPCs that think they're not NPCs. Hold up. Because they say when you're awake, you're sleeping, but when you're sleeping, you're more awake than when you're awake. So when you're sleeping, you're going through mad different shit. Like people when they're lucid dreaming and they're able to control these things, or when they're astral projecting and they're going through different parts of the world out of their body. So that shit, oh. Damn, you got me thinking right now. I'm not even gonna lie. That makes me think about so many different things like like space. I think space is a hologram. Like think about it. I don't think space is real. Or if it is real, I don't think we discovered it. I believe that a lot of things were CGI'd, but also like how do you say? Like technology.
The thing about space is like between space, people say like, oh, why did the government or like the world stop exploring the ocean and go to go to space? People
Exactly.
Say they saw something in the ocean that made them stop searching the ocean and move to space. And people say the real aliens are in the water, not in the sky.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, think about it. I don't know what the exact percentage is now, but the last time I remember, it was 5% of the ocean in the whole entire Earth was discovered. But they have more.
It's like 8 or 10.
It's probably 8 or 10. Who knows? I'm not so much into it. But how is that much of our Earth discovered, but you're already trying to go out and discover like what's not even discovered yet in Earth? Like, how are you gonna go and discover something before discovering something else that's right in front of you? That's what makes me believe that the water, the ocean is discovered, but that type of fear that the ocean has and the power that it has, because most of the world in itself is like made out of water. They think that fear is too much, or they want to hold that type of power. I saw a video earlier. This dude, they had killed him, for saying something like this. It may be true. It may not be true. Just saying. This dude basically was in a submarine. He was exploring the ocean and the deep depths of the ocean. And he basically got to a point where he was in the ocean, but there was a lake at the bottom, and there was shore.
Was it like I think I know what you're talking about. He went down and it was like kind of like a wall.
Yeah, he went down and it was like a wall, and they tried to get lower to it. They tried to get lower, and it was bouncing them off. It wouldn't let them go through, right? And the bounce that they had from the water sent ripples to the shore. Pretend you're at the beach right now, and you just see little ripples coming towards the sand. That's what it did to the shore. But mind you, they're in the deep depths of the ocean. How is that something like that possible? What are they hiding from us? You know what I mean?
Nah, that's that shit. I seen something that was like, I don't really remember it, but I saw it recently. It was like this tribe that obviously, I know there's a bunch of tribes that have like never seen like civilization, but this one I guess was like back then there was this French guy who went to the island. He was forced to stay there, and when the things he's seen, they had like very like I wouldn't say like
high technology, like
yeah,
advanced
like stuff that you're not supposed to have during that time. I guess there was tablets talking about things in space that. So in space there was like I think it's like Area A and Area B. They found out about Area A and B before they was even discovered, And then they're saying that there's an area C that we have yet to even find out that they already know about.
But that ties into a lot of ancient civilizations and gods, like half human, half animals. Like
they have like a lot of stuff that we didn't even discover yet or have yet to discover, and they don't really know how they had it, but they have it.
yeah, that goes with the Samaritans, the Egyptians, the what you say, the Mayans, the Aztecs. Like they have scriptures on their walls of these half animal, half human, godlike beings, and they have these pictures where they have these UFO type like spacecrafts showing literally that these higher beings came from space and came down and showed them all these different technologies, like, you know, helicopters, planes, and all these type of stuff. Like, you know, the Easter Island, right? How they got the rocks?
Yeah.
And they're placed in a certain position, and the weight of it, they say, for that type of time, is so physically impossible for them to even have something with that type of technology to move that, like, something that huge. But what is it about back then that they had so much advanced technology than we do now? There's a lot that is not being said. There's a lot that makes me tie into the, you know, the pyramids. They have like the cat on the head and all that different stuff. Why are these beings nowhere to be found? What is actually going on?
You know, history is something that very, very interests me. It's something I want to learn more about, especially like, with that type of time and how they had that type of like technology and information. It's to this day, it's still like dumbfounding how they had that, and we have yet to know how they had it.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And if you think about it, a lot of civilizations like those tribal ones, it's said that if you do not know the name of a color, you can't see the color. Like literally they did this experiment where this researcher went to this tribe and they put on a whole different rows of colors of green, and they had one blue there. But their tribe has no word for blue in any type of language that they have. They have no word for blue. So they were able to, you know, say all the green colors, but they weren't able to even say blue. And they sat there for hours confused about it because they didn't know what the color blue was. Crazy. Think about that, bro. So there's colors that that could be in front of our faces, and we can't see or even explain or even comprehend what it is because it's not in our vocabulary. There's also this show that I started watching. It's called Resident Alien. This one's gonna blow your mind. This one's called Resident Alien. And it's kind of like a weird show, but funny. It's basically about this alien that had dropped down from space. He was supposed to destroy Earth, but he got stuck there. And he has to find a ship to get back to his homeland and destroy Earth. It's his mission. But obviously he got sidetracked. And in this show, I say this show is kind of like a Rick and Morty, but there's no Rick and Morty. It's just probably like Rick, or like the alien standpoint of it. And basically, you know how the dinosaurs extinct? My theory is the dinosaurs extinct to create more life. It was a sacrifice for the greater good. I believe the theory is meteors on Earth created a lot of life. You want me to get into depths about that? Or you want to try to make sense out of it?
That shit is confusing itself.
Alright, so think about this, right? So when the meteors came down, I'll tell you the story that we already know. Meteor came down, destroyed a mass population of the Earth or whatever, and you know the creatures and the animals, etc. Dinosaurs got wiped out, right? But the creatures, a lot of the creatures that survived were basically a lot of sea creatures. So it said that the meteor from space that came down to Earth actually had life in it. So when it exploded and when it went into the ground and it went into the ocean, it had this type of life in it and these organisms that created different versions of other life that gave more life and created different types of creatures and animals that we have today, that we know as today. Think about that.
Saying that meteor had a life form in it, and once it hit the ground, it expanded, creating new life.
Yes, but it also destroyed other forms of life.
Fuck.
You don't like that. Don't like make your brain go like, yo, like hold on a second, like yo, this could actually be something that could actually be true. It makes sense. This is all a theory, but it's a theory that makes sense. The meteor destroyed most of the Earth's population, but also created most of the Earth's population because there was organisms that was in life that was in the meteor that once it got unleashed into the ocean, it created more life like plankton, algae, etc. that created more life. But they don't say stuff like this in school. That's if it was true, but also I feel like a lot of like theories and conspiracies should be taught in school because it just makes your whole vision and your whole concept about things expand. Like now that you heard that theory, what do you think about it?
I think it's bullshit.
You think it's bullshit? Why you think it's bullshit?
I'm not gonna lie. Well,
It's just a theory.
I've just never heard of that before, and I guess like it's that theory could be used. You know, I guess it does make sense. You know, but at the same time, doesn't. It's a bit confusing. I guess it could be confusing to others. So I guess it's the way you look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Bob Ross. Did you know the theory that he was a serial killer?
Yes, I know about this theory, and I am very intrigued.
Yeah, how he would literally paint the areas of where he would bury his victims or where his victims' dead bodies were. And there was actually a spot where he had painted a location where actually 5 dead women were actually found. Now, what do you think about that one? Do you think it's true? Do you think it's fake? Do you think...
I'm a Bob Ross fan, so that's probably why you brought this up. I've heard of this theory, and I'm not too sure of what side to pick, because even though I have seen like every single spot he's painted, or majority of the spots he's painted, someone has died there, so he could be a serial killer. But then at the same time, I'm like, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe he just so happened to be painting.
What if? Okay, let's scratch. We can think that he is a serial killer, but let's scratch that he's not a serial killer. Okay, there could be a chance he's an accomplice, or there's a chance it's not a coincidence, and somebody sees his paintings and creates those murders on those spots, and that's kind of like the perfect fall guy, because they can't pin him to those murders in those specific locations, but also he's the only person that has tied to them. So that's like me, right? Hypothetically, you painted somebody. No, you painted a location, and I said, I know a location that's exactly like that, or looks somewhat exactly like that. Let me kill somebody there, get away with it, and then they see a famous guy with a famous painting.
Say that were the case, that guy or girl, you never know, would have had to been stop, killing, because Bob Ross is dead, obviously, unless, because I have yet to see anything new about it, unless he's copying his son's paintings. But I'm just saying, but it would be a good thing.
I didn't even know he had a son. I didn't think about that, like that he paints.
Pick a well-known person to disguise your murders. But honestly, I don't think it would ever be in that much in depth.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was a serial killer, that is a good hustle. Like, that's a good. How do you say? Like, what's that word? Like, That's a good cover up. Using somebody's paintings, their paint locations to kill somebody and bury the body.
You gotta think about it. Bob Ross, he was I think he was a sergeant. He served in the military or some type of army. I don't know which one it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, me personally, since I'm a fan of him, it's kind of hard to believe that he could ever do such a thing. But at the same time, you could be right because he always has a nice, calm demeanor. So maybe that was the reason why most people thought he wasn't capable of being a serial killer, considering
what some of the most calmest people be the most dangerous people.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe now that I think about it, from him having such a calm and nice demeanor and always being so nice could be a good cover up for not wanting to be, not being able to be accused of being a serial killer. Then again, he has no right to.
But
right.
Think about it. There's another hot take. Do you think that's how he expressed his PTSD, or he expressed his? Because you already know, painting is a form of expressing yourself. You know, it's art. It's how people express how they are, how they feel, what they're feeling at the moment, what they want to feel in the future. So, what if he's an army, or he served in the military? I don't know which base he served at, but what if he might have had PTSD, or that's his way of basically confessing? What if that's his way of confessing? Drawing those locations, drawing the spots where he had murdered somebody at, and he wanted the world to know, and that was the way that made him feel better. What if that was how he got everything off his chest, by expressing those murders through his paintings?
It's definitely a possibility, but if I had to choose whether he was or wasn't, I'm gonna have to side with him not being a serial killer.
Is that just because you like him though? You can't be biased.
No, I'm not. I'm non-biased. I am non-biased. I just truly think that I don't see him as the type of person that could ever, do such a thing.
I mean, a lot of people didn't.
I'm honestly, based off, this can go back and forth. I do see reasons to believe that he could be a potential serial killer, but I just genuinely don't think that he is or was.
Okay. I mean, I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never find out. He already passed away. No murders were tied to him, but those bodies were found, which is a weird coincidence. But until this day, it's still going to be a coincidence. Did you know about the $1 theory?
No, I don't think so.
Now, I'm not talking about with the Twin Towers. I'm talking about that there's an alien on the $1. Like the spot where the eagle is, if you turn the contrast on it high enough, you will see literally an alien head figure on the $1 bill, right in our eyes, in plain sight, and nobody even knew about it. Whoa, hold on, let me show them that. Another theory, another hot take of Jeffrey Epstein, which I'm gonna try to have the camera focus up, on the $20 bill. I didn't even know about this theory. That is very crazy. They're literally hiding pedophilia in our faces. Because if you didn't know, Jeffrey Epstein had his island, and on that island they were doing a lot of sick things to younger people. As I can say, I don't know what I can or cannot say that will be guidelined on this video. Like, what? I can't take you serious, bro. What? Yo, bro, you shitting yourself. You know this is getting posted, right?
I don't care. Post it up. I'm giving you clips.
Bro, that's not okay, bro. You should check your diapers. I'm not even gonna lie, them shits got long as hell. You still ugly for what you just did, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I was not throwing gang signs. I'm not a gangster.
As you should, man. Yo, bro, you look like you ate a habanero pepper, bro. Goddamn. Yeah, we both need cuts. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. You ugly as hell, boy. bro. Yo, you're in your room trying to take a shit.
Yo, bro.
Yeah, we about to get into some gameplay. You know, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and you subscribe. And special guest today's my brother. This ugly one right here doing all this. What? Okay, you can't do that. You can't do that. Bro, what are you doing, bro? Cut that shit out, bro. Pause. Yeah, mad Ayo for that. What do you got going on, bro?
Anyways, yeah, run it back. I got you.
Alright. We're running it back. Take 2. Alright, we're about to end it off there. You already know it was the first episode. Not too good, not too bad, whatever. We a little calm with it. Got the conversations going, kept it flowing, had the brain juices going. And yeah, this is our first episode of the Rebels Podcast. Thank you to my guest over here on the phone, taking shits, looking constipated, etc. Dreadhead, but not a dreadhead. My younger brother.
Straight
there.
dreads.
Talk to yourself.
Yo, listen, bro. My Instagram is crashout_hotline. Crashout_hotline.
Yeah, you look like a crash out, bro. You look like you wear black forces and you sleep with socks on. And you eat cereal with a fork.
Used to.
And okay. Alright, bro. Alright, without further ado, we are out. Everybody, thank you for attending our very first podcast over here on the Rebels Podcast. Without further ado, we gone. Alright, everybody, if you made it this far in the video, that means you're a real one. You know, you're not fake. You stayed to the end, and you know, I appreciate that, and I support that, and I support you supporting me, and I love you for loving me, you feel me? But anyways, if you couldn't tell, there's been a lot of technical difficulties with the editing and all that stuff, and this post got a little delayed. But I didn't let that stop me. You know, we only going up from here. We're not letting that stop us. I've been like editing till like 6 in the morning and all these nights, sleepless nights, trying to get this out, cause I'm really passionate about this. So without further ado, welcome to the Rebels Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let me know down in the comment section what you want to like see me talk about, what you want me to bring up, stories you want me to touch base on, and who you want to see on this podcast. So without further ado, we out.